Okay, so day one of the pantry challenge, we had our frittata for breakfast slash lunch because we only eat once, we don't do that twice. And I have some squash that I need to use up. So we are going to make some sauteed squash. This is a great recipe if you love squash. You just cut it up and put it, whoops, don't drop it on the floor like I just did. And I am going to do 2. So I have some leftover for tomorrow. And we are going to have some grilled chicken, which I'm doing just grilled chicken. I'm just going to put some salt and pepper and some garlic and onion on it. Nothing super fancy. So with this, okay, so I had a half an onion in the fridge that I want to use up. And I'm going to add that to our squash. All right, so in our pan, I'm going to add some olive oil. You know, just coat your pan, basically coat the bottom. And I'm gonna want some pepper. And some salt. To taste, whatever you like. And then the secret, there's 2 secret ingredients to this. The first is ginger. I'm telling you, it's delicious. So you add ginger. And then when it's close to being done, we add honey. You sprinkle some honey on it. It's so good. I'm going to start my squash on about medium-high. Get that going. And then I also found in my freezer a bag of edamame. So I am going to heat that up. And then I'm going to start the chicken. And I'll be back. I am just going to salt and pepper my chicken. And I'm going to add some garlic powder if I can find it. Where is it? It's hiding. There we go. Are your cabinets like mine? Like you have to be careful because stuff's going to go flying out on you? Okay. And that's it. We'll be back when it's all plated. So for day 1 pantry challenge, I was able to use a lot of vegetables out of the freezer. I used chicken out of the freezer. I used a dozen eggs in the fridge. And I used some squash in my fridge. And I also am going to use some frozen edamame out of the freezer. And that was a really good first day of the pantry challenge. I'm very happy. All right, I am also going to use some of our tree pears. We're going to make a little fruit salad just to have in the fridge with some tree pears. You don't want any juice? Yeah, I'll let the juice go in there. So tree pears, they're nice and cold. There's a pantry item used on day 1. And we're going to add some peaches. Nice little fruit salad. There we go. How perfect. You know what? Another good thing about this pantry challenge is that you're not going into the store and staying away from a lot of germs that are out there right now. This is flu season. RSV's going around. There's all sorts of stuff going around. So it keeps you away from a lot of that, which is a good thing. Day 2 of our pantry challenge. We are doing soup that I had in the freezer. One is a butternut squash and one is a vegetable soup. So we're gonna do those for dinner, and I'm going to do a cornbread. So I am gonna use a cast iron for this cornbread, and I am going to first preheat my oven to 400 degrees. And then I'm going to add some oil to my cast iron. I want to coat it real well. And then I'm going to heat up the cast iron so it's nice and hot before I pour the mixture in. Okay. And for this, I am using self-rising cornmeal mix. And I need 2 cups. One. And to that, we're going to need 1 large egg. And I'm going to beat that. And I'm going to turn on my pan so I can start to get that hot. And to this, I need 1, where's my milk? I didn't get my milk, yes I did, right in front of me. I need 1 1/4 cups of milk. All right. So now all I'm going to do is add my milk. Such a simple recipe. Add my egg. And then I also need a 1/4 cup of oil. And I'm just using a vegetable oil. All right, we're gonna just mix that all together. And when my pan is hot, nice and hot, we're going to pour this in the pan, and it's going to go in the oven for 25 to 30 minutes. And we'll keep an eye on it, depending on your oven. All right, we're all mixed in. So we're just gonna wait for our pan. All right, my cast iron's nice and hot. We are going to pour this in. Spread that out. that is going in the oven for 20 minutes. And then we have our dinner all set to go today. Day 2 brunch. I made a smoothie with some frozen fruit in my freezer and beet water juice. And I'm going to have my frittata. All right, the cornbread is done. Look at this, gorgeous. In my oven, in the cast iron, it took about 20 minutes to cook. So I am going to cut this up. Oh, it's hot, be careful. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. So, day 2 of the pantry challenge. Breakfast was a smoothie, and well, brunch. It was a smoothie and a piece of frittata. Now, dinner is our soup from the freezer and some homemade cornbread. A lot of bread and things. So I've decided I am going to make a sourdough starter. Very simple. So what you need to get started is all-purpose flour. And I am going to put, let's see, what is this? This is a, can't see it, it's a half a cup. So, oh, that won't fit in there, and I'll get flour everywhere. So hang on. It would be better if you had a glass container with like a bigger opening. That would just make your life easier, but I don't really have anything that I could use for that. So, what I'm gonna start off with is 2 cups of flour. And this is just all-purpose flour. Okay, so there is about 2 cups of flour. It might be a little bit more, but that's okay. And now what you want is to start to add your water. And good rule of thumb is equal parts, but you want it basically like a pancake consistency. Hang on. I am going to use my filtered water. I prefer to, but you can just use your tap water. Oh, but you know what? I don't know if chlorine will affect that or not. Good question. So just start adding your water. Oh my goodness, I probably do not have enough water in here. I do have some spring water in a jug, so I'm gonna have to use that. Start to stir it. Check your consistency. Oh, I might be okay. Actually, I'm good. Fantastic. See, this is another reason why you need a wider opening jar. I'm gonna have to go find something, I think. Go to the thrift store and find something that's bigger. So you just want to get this all mixed in. Yeah, this is not easy in this kind of jar. Shoot, I wish I had something else. Okay, once you get it all mixed together, you need to let this ferment, basically. No, is fermenting the right word to use? I'm not sure. Good question. So, you want this to sit on your counter, room temperature, until it starts to activate. And I'm going to put a piece of cheesecloth over the top. You don't want to seal it. It needs to get your air and your environment. That's what makes it come to life, is all of what it pulls out of the air where you live. So this is where we are, and we'll come back tomorrow and check it after it sits for 24 hours. So for day 3 of the pantry challenge, I had a freezer meal with some enchiladas in it. So we're gonna do that tonight, and I'm going to do some rice and spice those up with some beans, all frozen. But I'm gonna put that in the oven and it's gonna heat up, and then, oh, our enchiladas are ready, and our rice. All right, so day 4 of the pantry challenge. We have pork chops out of the freezer. We have my last zucchini in the fridge. And then we are also going to have our honey squash. So for our zucchini, I got some onions out of the freezer. Oh, this is dark, huh? So I cut up my zucchini, and I'm going to add some onions from the freezer. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil in and do some salt and pepper. And, well, actually, I might cook it the same way I cook the squash. I might add some honey and some ginger, because that's always nice. So because I forgot my onions in the freezer, they are not separating easy. Here we go. That should be good. And I am just going to do a little bit of olive oil for now, and some salt and pepper. All right, and our pork chops, I'm going to use my little grill pan. This is the best little grill pan. And we have some nice defrosted pork chops. Those, same thing. I'm just going to do some salt and pepper on them, and that's it. Hang on, let me wash my hands. All right, so I am just going to salt and pepper them. There we go. There is day 4 of our pantry challenge. I had hamburger in the freezer, so for day 5, I did a meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and corn. And there already is a meatloaf video on my channel. Day 6, I had pizza dough in the freezer. So we had pizza, and I used the rest of the broccoli from the freezer and my onions from the freezer, and it was delicious. We had a white pizza with lots of spices, mozzarella, feta cheese. So day 7, we used some of our home canned fresh tomatoes. We made a nice pasta sauce, and we had pasta, and out of the freezer, I had made meatballs and also sausage. And we had a nice dinner for the last day of week 1 of the Pantry Challenge. This is Linda with Homestead by the Lake. Thank you so much for watching my video.